Hey guys, so the James Webb Telescope has done it again. It spotted something absolutely wild, supermassive black holes that, honestly, shouldn't even exist this early in the universe. Like, we're talking just a few 100 million years after the Big Bang. That's mind-blowing. When JWST started looking deep into the early universe, astronomers noticed these strange, compact red objects. They started calling them little red dots. And, these things looked nothing like what models predicted for that time. They were tiny, super dense, and glowed this deep reddish color, like cosmic warning lights saying, hey, something big is happening here. So yeah, these little red dots were first noticed in JWST's deep field images. We're basically seeing them as they were about 600 million to maybe 1.5 billion years after the Big Bang. And the weird thing is, they're way smaller than the typical early galaxies. Most of them are just a few hundred light years across. That's incredibly compact for galaxies at that time. Now, the red color could mean a lot of things. Maybe heavy dust, or maybe something energetic happening deep inside, like a massive black hole forming. So astronomers had two big ideas. First, maybe they're just small, dusty galaxies where stars are forming super fast, like star factories going crazy. Or second, maybe these dots are actually early galaxies with growing black holes at their centers, the kind that would later become the monsters we see today. And here's where things get weird. JWST's spectroscopic data, basically the light signature from these galaxies, showed really broad emission lines. That means the gas inside them was moving fast, like thousands of kilometers per second. That could only happen if something with insane gravity was pulling on it, something like a black hole. But, and here's the twist, there weren't strong X-rays coming from them, which black holes usually give off. So scientists were like, wait, what's going on here? If it's a black hole, where's the X-ray radiation? And if it's just stars forming, how can the gas be moving that fast? So yeah, it's like these galaxies are caught right in the middle of transforming, not fully galaxies, not fully black holes. Now, this discovery is a big deal, because it helps us understand how the first galaxies and black holes were born. Like, how did the universe go from being mostly gas and dust to having these massive structured systems with black holes billions of times heavier than the sun? If these little red dots are actually early galaxies forming black holes, it means star formation back then was happening in super compact regions, way more intense and faster than we thought. And if that's true, then we might be looking at the exact process that created the first supermassive black holes, the ones that shaped the galaxies we see today. So yeah, a researcher named Andres Escala and his team came up with a new idea. They think these little red dots aren't either or, they're both. They start as super dense galaxies full of stars, and over time, the gravity in the middle gets so strong that it collapses into a black hole. As the black hole grows, it starts pulling in more gas and dust, eventually lighting up as an active galactic nucleus. Basically a black hole that's feeding like crazy. It's kind of like watching a caterpillar turn into a butterfly, but in this case, the butterfly is a supermassive black hole eating everything around it. This theory explains why we don't see much X-ray radiation, because these galaxies are still in the pre-active stage. The black holes haven't fully lit up yet, and that also explains why they're rare in the later universe. It's just a short, transitional phase. If this new theory holds up, it could totally change how we understand galaxy and black hole evolution. Today, black holes are tiny compared to their galaxies, usually like 1,000th of the total mass. But back then, these black holes could have been up to 10% of their galaxy's mass. That's wild. It means that in the early universe, black holes might have actually shaped their galaxies, instead of just growing alongside them. Like, these cosmic giants may have determined how their galaxies formed, how stars were born, and how matter was distributed. That's a huge shift in how we see cosmic evolution. So, what happens now? Well, astronomers are gearing up for deeper X-ray studies to see if they can detect even the faintest signs of black hole activity. They're also using radio and infrared observations to look for jets or outflows, the kind of stuff you'd expect from an early black hole. And upcoming missions like the Nancy Grace Roman Telescope and the Square Kilometer Array? Yeah, those are going to help find even more of these little red dots giving us a bigger picture of how the first galaxies and black holes came to be. So yeah, what the James Webb Telescope just found might be the missing link, the stage between star-forming galaxies and the very first supermassive black holes. It's like we're watching the universe build its first skyscrapers, these massive structures that define everything else that follows. Crazy to think that billions of years later, we're sitting here on Earth, looking back and actually seeing how it all started. Anyway, that's it for today's video. If you found this as mind-blowing as I did, hit that like button, subscribe, and keep your eyes on the stars. Because the James Webb Telescope definitely isn't done surprising us yet.